So what we'd like to do now is once again, we'd like to guide you in a meditation to experience both of these two sides, these two wounds, which is really one wound that just has different faces. So once again, we're going to invite you to find a comfortable place where you can either sit or lie.
And if you feel comfortable enough, you can close your eyes and just take time to settle inside.
And just take some moments to relax, going deeper and deeper inside. As if you're falling deeper into yourself.
You can begin to allow the breath to gently touch the area inside your chest, just to feel this energy in the chest, which is where we hold this longing for connection. This area of the chest is our sensitivity, and just breathing into that place.
Oftentimes, this place of longing gets activated when we do open, when we move towards opening and allowing someone to become significant for us. It can be a lover, it can be a close friend, it can be a teacher, anyone who becomes significant, important to us, opens up this place where we have such a deep longing to feel received, to feel seen, to feel taken in, deeply understood. That base is in all of us.
Just feeling in your own way this longing for connection. Just breathing and feeling your chest. And as we do this, if you'd like, you could even imagine that there is somebody in front of you, somebody important in your life, somebody who wakes up this longing for connection. Just feeling this person in front of you, if there is such a person for you.
And as you feel this person, you may be aware that there have been moments with this person where you did feel a deep connection, a deep sense of having found someone that really understands you, feels you, loves you. Maybe it's someone where you feel, perhaps for the first time in your life, that there's a real deep connection. This wakes up such a longing to be fully understood and taken in.
And it could be that in that connection, that deep connection with the other person, something inside you wakes up and you start to experience yourself in a new way. Maybe you start to feel very alive. And just feeling this, breathing into this. It's very beautiful to allow yourself to allow this to wake up. Because there can be a tendency to not even want to open it, because it's painful also. You know, it's easy to go into resignation, not even allow yourself to feel this connection, knowing that there will be moments where this connection is not there.
So if there is someone in front of you that you have opened to, that has become important to you, you may also notice that there are times when you don't feel that connection, when you feel that that person isn't there for you in the way that you expected and hoped, in the way that you longed for, and all of a sudden your energy changes, and all that warmth and hope and sense of well-being changes.
And just feel, just breathe in the chest as you feel this disappointment, It could be that suddenly there's a misunderstanding between you. It could be that they don't have time or not as much time as you would like. It could be that you experience them not being as sensitive to you as you would like, or not as tuned into you as you would like. Whatever it is, just allow yourself to experience this disconnection and the disappointment that comes with that.
And often the first thing that comes up is a sense of anger, or a sense of a feeling that the other person shouldn't be that way. And their energy moves out towards the person, either to want to change them, to want to attack them or blame them. And that is a natural movement, a spontaneous movement out from this place of pain that's getting triggered. So notice that, how automatic that this movement can happen. And without judging it, I'm going to invite you to notice that that outer movement doesn't bring any more happiness or love in your life. In fact, just the opposite. So we're going to invite you to pull back that energy, to pull it back away from the other person or from other people who disappoint you.
So you can imagine that you're turning the focus away from the outside and really coming back in. So the focus is moving away from your partner or your friend, and you're just coming in so that you can feel the effect of whatever is happening inside you. Even if at first it may feel very uncomfortable, very empty, very painful, maybe dark. And just breathing into it, just feeling that this is happening and there's something for me to feel, to explore.
Just allow yourself to notice if there's panic, to notice if there's maybe even some shock. Notice that there's maybe some thoughts that come up, it shouldn't be this way, and this is never going to go away. There's something wrong here. And just set those thoughts to the side and just stay with the body.
And if you notice those thoughts of fighting, of wanting to change, you can allow yourself to make fists, because that's the same as fighting with reality, fighting with the situation. So just feeling the fists, not without making it wrong, just feeling the fists and feeling that energy of fighting the situation. And just breathing into it. Keep feeling the chest. And if you feel ready at any point, you can open your palms and just see what happens if you let go. If you let go into just letting the situation be the way it is, right now.
And at first there can be a lot of resistance to just letting go. But you may notice there's a shift in your energy when you begin to just surrender to it. And that is exactly the healing movement. Breathing, holding, realizing that the other person or other people, they're not there to meet all your needs. And actually, in this movement of coming back to yourself is exactly the maturing and the healing of this wound.
And in that, you also become aware that you're not a child anymore who's helpless. You can feel this even if it's painful. It's okay. You have enough space inside just to let the situation be the way it is, even if you're not getting exactly what you want right now from the other person.
As you do this movement, you're actually creating a space where the other person can love you. You're creating a space where the other person doesn't feel all your expectations and your entitlement and your attack and your demands and your blame, but he feels or she feels a different energy in you, of responsibility, of maturity. And that's actually an invitation for love.
And of course, this is easier if it's a situation of a smaller abandonment, if it's a situation where the other person is not the way you would like them to be. It's more challenging if it's one of the bigger abandonments where somebody left you or died or got ill, or it was really a huge loss, and that's much more challenging. And it may really take time to be confident enough inside yourself that you can open to the grief, open to the pain, and just let it be.
You might need support for big abandonments, or even experience of deep loneliness and missing connection. You may need to reach out for some support to help you to understand, to be present to these feelings, so that you can learn to surrender and not fight.
And this is a process. It's really a process of layer by layer, going deeper inside, finding the roots inside yourself so that you can contain whatever life brings you, so that you can absorb and feel all the feelings that come up, whatever life gives you.
And when we are dealing with the engulfment wound, the process is quite similar. The triggers are different in the sense of you're feeling that you're losing your freedom, you feel suffocated, you feel invaded, intruded. But inside, it brings up the same sense of discomfort, pain, and uneasiness. And maybe you act out from this wound by pulling away, by attacking, by avoiding deep connection. But once again, if you come back, you can feel the depth of this engulfment wound.
And it could be that right now in your life, this is not so relevant, or maybe it is. Maybe you do have a friendship or a partner where you experience sometimes feeling suffocated or needing more time, more space for yourself. So you can imagine this in your own way.
It's really important to know that when you feel this lack of freedom, when you feel the other person's needs or demands coming to you, it's triggering a deep wound inside you of not being supported to be an individual, to be free, to have your own energy in your own space. Just notice that's a wound and drop inside. Drop inside and see that this has been there a long time. And the healing movement is not to just automatically push the other person away, but to begin to honor yourself enough to give yourself what you need, even if you're scared. And at the same time, to risk to come close to somebody, knowing that you can give yourself space to be yourself. And when we begin to embrace both of these wounds as our own wounds, it's not the other person's fault. The other person is not our enemy. The other person in some way is just an opportunity for us to explore either of these two wounds, whichever one is coming up at any given time.
And when you really begin to understand that and feel that, then the journey becomes very exciting and very interesting. And the whole focus is not about the other person, but it's about what's happening inside me as I come close. So then whatever is happening, there's always more to explore.
And in a healthy, more mature relationship, we give each other tremendous space to be an individual, but we also give each other a lot of deep connection, a lot of space and time to share intimately. And that balance is what creates healthy love.
So it's like a kind of a melting of the togetherness and then separating into feeling the individuality. So respecting the needs for both moments of connection and moments of alone time.
So now, I'm going to invite you very slowly to begin to come back.
You can take a deep breath as you come back, slowly coming back into the body. When you feel ready, you can open your eyes and be back here.
And as you come back with more awareness of these two sides of us, the abandonment and the engulfment.